Yesterday's live stream was really crazy in terms of referencing what liquidity pool that we thought price was going to head towards. We were really aiming for that Asian sell side liquidity made on Tuesday, the day prior. That same day, however, we were getting very mixed signals as to where would price be heading. We were referring to an old high that price was going to be using as turtle soup, the highs of PM from Tuesday. We thought that it was going to reference those highs as turtle soup and then immediately expand down lower to meet the Asian sell side liquidity to kind of just stay inside this consolidation range. However, when price retested that level again and reacted off a bearish PD array and reacted inversely, that kind of made me start considering the change in the state of delivery, where instead of it going down to further sell stops, it was perhaps considered to go up to acquire more buy side liquidity. Kind of like just to get us out of this external range liquidity from this high to this low. So if it was going to go up, uh, we what PD arrays existed in the discount range to get us up further. There was a discount array there that existed between the highs of, I believe it was PMs and another day's buy side liquidity. And we got into the event horizon, and yeah, it was a pretty nice catch, but a really quick in change of bias. And it repriced down lower. You see here that at the 11 o'clock candle, the wick of that candle quickly rebalanced the body of the 1045 candle after it had re-challenged that old high, reacted off a discount array, now discount array since it was reacted off inversely, and it expanded higher. So that quick rebalance really shot up price up higher. You'll see that around the lunch macro, we were consolidating there for a bit, and then at PM session, we kind of just expanded higher. Ideally aiming for the Thursday uh, PM buy side liquidity, which was the liquidity that I was set to that I was looking forward to tapping after I shut down the live stream yesterday. So then as price approached the closing hour, we didn't exactly tap it before the close. I would have ideally liked to have seen it tap before the close, but in this case it didn't. Price aggressively repriced down lower. But I have it marked here on the PM sell side liquidity, S&T on, positively correlated. This just means that if we look at the futures and CFDs, you'll see here that at 5:30 yesterday, it quickly repriced down lower to garnish more sell stops. But on futures, you see that we didn't have that much of a deep retracement down lower compared to the lows on 1245. If I can take you to 1245 here, yeah, 1245 is down here. Notice the wick. There was no wicking in futures, but there was a humongous wick on CFDs. That to me is SMT. Okay, it proves that the futures was a lot stronger and it continued to go up aggressively, tapping eventually that PM buy side liquidity pool and now approaching the lunch buy side liquidity pool from Thursday last week. Now this is a very important level because these old highs, we can reference it in a way where we can anchor our fibs from low to high if there's SMT to consider approaching a sell side delivery program or a sell program, if you will. So this will be the inception of a creation of a sell delivery, of a sell program. Why? Because we need to create a sell program if price is to dip down for even more discount. Because remember, this whole leg is an entire buy program. So if price wants to buy at more cheaper discounts, it needs to create false sentiment, thinking that it's going to go up higher, when in reality it's only getting ready to initiate a sell program to take price down lower, eventually reacting off whatever is left over. So whatever's left over from this leg. So not that much as you can see. So we can probably refer back to even to the external range liquidity. Why this? Because even this whole thing is a buy program in itself. So very bullish price action. getting inside this little range here was very tricky because you don't know what higher low to trust. And yeah, this is exactly the formation that we're looking for. Now all we're waiting for is for price to display down lower before 75% or the upper quadrant of this daily range, and then react off an order block up here, continue to sell short, garnishing all this. Look, sell side liquidity pool, sell side liquidity pool, sell side liquidity pool. You see that as the week is forming, the sessions are passing through, and behind each session, we're leaving behind relevant sell stops that can be used to sponsor further price action. So that's kind of like what I'm eyeing right now, and yeah. So and right now we're not seeing these aggressive expansions higher, right? Which is what we would have wanted to see if price was bullish, avoiding to close down below upper quadrant, 75%. So if we're gonna have this, what you would call it, sell side program start, we would like to aim down to lower lows, lower sell side pools of liquidity as well. So in a way, like that's my small term bias, very short term, just to get on that sell. This bullish breaker is now what we're going to be referencing until 10 o'clock. You see that the high here was printed at 2342.3. This low, this current candle from last minute has a low of, excuse me, the low of this candle comes at 23,482.3. 23,482.3. That is precise to the tick. And this is CFD, folks. Remember what I told you that bearish breaker existed? Down here, right? Look at what happened. Price repriced up aggressively, treating now this bearish breaker into an inverse bearish breaker. Reacted back down low using that as what? That bearish breaker inverse as support. And look at this expansion that we're having right now. Targeting old highs from pre-market session. The first time it tapped was the CME open sell side liquidity plus the breaker. Bullish. And tapped it again. The little mini breaker was inversed. Did it again, and look at now. And now we want to look at how it's reacting off these highs here. Not reached. Breached. Oh, breached first time already. So that was Jones. So yeah, this was already an easy target for price to get at. What's next? London close and buy side liquidity from Thursday. That's not very high probability, is it? I'm seeing two reasons for a price to go back up and down. Up because we're like in a really, really deep discount relevant to this daily range from low to high. We are in really, really deep discount, even though we created a new high, trace back down lower, and then to go down lower to initiate finally the sell program because of that SFT. We do want to see price break below these old lows right here. Now, as it's behaving in this manner, is this the kind of day that you would want to risk your life money on? Where there's a clear direction on both sides and it's constantly just meandering around. There's no form of clear indication of where price wants to go today. And there's been a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings stacked up here that are just making people feel, well, in this case, feel very uncertain about what the market wants to do. There's a signal everywhere today. There's a signal everywhere, and I think that's where the problem is that when it comes to society, when there's a lot of opinions to be able to be forming around, there's a lot of arguments as to who wants to come out right. The opinions in my head right now are two sides, are twofold. So therefore, I don't really want to engage in something that has equal amounts of opportunity to be panning out. So these are the kinds of environments where I don't feel comfortable risking real life money. It's not respecting anything either. All right, yeah. So since it's not really impressive, the kinds of price actions that we're getting this morning. I was telling you guys before we started the stream that I see possibilities of it going both ways. So that's really low probability trading. You wouldn't want to definitely be risking on, real life money. You've been seeing me going in here with my demo account and just kind of like testing out things, which is why you saw a bunch of buying and selling occurring. And I mean, look at it's just been stop loss after stop loss. Now that would have been a completely different feeling had this been real money, wouldn't it? So I mean, at this time, I don't see anything impressive in terms of price action, and we're looking to see if what will happen in the PM session. Maybe do this whole setup. So again, we're waiting for that cross below 75% to finally initiate that sell side program. But then we're also creating new higher highs as well. So and there's no there's price can literally just be hovering around this area and not touch below 75% for the rest of the day, and just continue that buy program initially. Continue going upwards. What I'm trying to say. All right, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I've been going for a while now, and yeah, I'll just have a good one.